As many of you know, I finally got my ultimate chase champion, the man, the myth, the legend himself. I finally got a Gnut. What is up, everybody? I am Felra, sailing the seas of Raid Shadow Legends, here to show you how I built my Gnut and the kind of progress he has given me on my account, because, oh man, it's only been like 2 days since I got him. I've already cleared 2 new dungeons, and he is absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Now, the A1 is a triple hit with a 100% chance fully booked of either decreasing the target's turn meter or placing a freeze debuff. Now, this is fantastic for both Fire Knight Hard and Fire Knight Normal. Fire Knight Normal, the turn meter decrease will work, and on Fire Knight Hard, you've got a 100% chance of placing a freeze. Freeze reduces the Fire Knight's turn meter by 10% per freeze, so he's got a 30% turn meter decrease for Fire Knight Hard mode on his A1 100% of the time. His A2 is an AoE that hits pretty hard, actually. It has a 75% chance, books to 100% chance of decrease attack and weaken on an AoE with a counter attack on himself. So whenever he gets hit, he'll go in with this A1. Decreased turn meter is very good in Fire Knight if you can't run fast enough to get the shield down 100% of the time. Then his A3 is the move that he is known for, the Blessed Bash, which is also a triple hit based on enemy max HP. Each hit decreases the target's defense by 3%, stacks up to 30%. So he's got a built-in cruelty set, or built-in cruelty blessing, I guess. And then he's got a life steal effect where he will heal by 30% of the damage dealt. You want to know a secret? You can get Corrado for free, as well as Fane, Ugo, and Vergus right now. Here's exactly how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play and uninstall. Use the link in the description below to start a brand new Raid Shadow Legends account. Log in, complete the tutorial, and you'll find Corrado Fox Hunter in your inbox afterwards. As you level up, you'll also get Fane, Ugo, and Vergus. So don't wait. Use that link and start a brand new account right now. Then, no holding back this passive here. When counterattacking, deals 100% of damage instead of 75%. He's got 80 accuracy in dungeons, which is nice if you're struggling with accuracy. As for masteries, I actually haven't mastered him out, but I'm going to master him out. I took the crit damage because I think the crit damage is what's necessary for that enemy max HP, as well as the crit rate as usual. He needs the accuracy to reduce turn meter, places, debuffs, all that kind of stuff, so I would go down the offense tree, although you could go down the defense tree too if you wanted to get the counterattacks in there, but I think those are less important than just getting more accuracy and being able to hit harder. So I think we would also grab Methodical. I don't know, we could either go Giant Slayer or Helm Smasher. Helm Smasher would help you reach the cap of enemy max HP damage, which is 10% of enemy max HP damage for bosses, without as big of a crit damage requirement, but I have him built with some stats, and he's having no trouble hitting the cap as it is, so it's all good. As far as a relic goes, I went with the Molten Death Bell. Now, the Molten Death Bell has accuracy and defense, whereas turn meter increases by 10% when applying stun, sleep, fear, true fear, freeze, provoke, petrification, and sheep debuffs to the enemies. Occurs once per turn. So whenever he goes in with this A1 and he freezes somebody, right, he is going to go ahead and boost his turn meter as well, but I believe we've got like 14%. Yeah, 14%, which is super, super good in Fire Knight. It helps him go a little bit faster, right? And then for the Gemstone, we took the one that increases the wearer's turn meter whenever a wearer fails to place a debuff. Cannot increase the wearer's turn meter by more than 20% in a single turn. So, in other words, if he gets 3%ed on any of these 2 skills, he's going to get an extra turn meter fill as well, which is really, really nice. That doesn't proc since he's not booked. You know, it's not like it counts as a 100% chance, and if we hit the 25% chance on the A3 of not placing the decrease in attack and weaken, that he gets a turn meter fill. That's not how it works, but if he gets 3%ed, he will boost his turn meter a little bit and try to make up for that speed and time lost, which is really, really nice. So stick around till the end of the video if you want to see his stats, but I'm just going to show you kind of where I use him. So Spider, changed my Spider team. I can actually, I should because it's champ training. I should toss somebody in here. Who do I toss? Sure, we'll toss this dude. But here we go. We've got Mithrala, Kymar, Lydia, and Gnut. Showed this team yesterday, so I won't spend too much time on it. Basically, Mithrala opens with the Hex, and then she'll have to cleanse Gnut of the Sleep. Kymar is going to open with his A1 and then use Seal of Magic, and Lydia is just going to use her Siren's Wail, and Gnut is just going to Blessed Bash twice. Very simple, very easy. It takes like 30 seconds to run, so if you have this team, I highly recommend that you make it. Definitely make it. Here we go. Okay, so Kymar's going to go. He's our fastest champ. Goes in with his A1. Lydia goes in with the drop defense and weaken. Awesome. Probably goes in with the Hex. You know, you do have to do some speed tuning, but it shouldn't be, you know, too much. Shouldn't be too much. There we go. We've got the Sleep on Gnut, which is fine because Mithrala has a full cleanse as well. Really, any full cleanser with a Hex could work in this spot, right? We've got that cleanse. We're going to go in and we're going to drop defense and weaken again. And now Gnut can just Blessed Bash. And oh my gosh, this is why we need Soul Reap on him. There we go. We got killed the spider with a War Master proc. Best time for that team is 34 seconds. It can do it in 40, but that's good. That's very good. Now, Fire Knight. So previously I could not clear Fire Knight 20, but now we can. Now we can clear Fire Knight, sorry, not Fire Knight 20, Fire Knight Hard 10. But now we can indeed clear Hard 10. We're running 2 Podregs and a Queen of Hearts. I quite like Queen of Hearts in this position, and I quite like the Podregs in this position, and I'm going to explain why. So first of all, the Podregs on their A1 have a 50% chance of reducing skill cooldown. So the Snake Root, when booked, has a 50% chance of reducing the cooldown of a random ally's active skill by 2 turns. We've got 2 of them and 3 ally attacks, which means every single time someone ally attacks, we are getting 2 50% chances of reducing a cooldown. Now, we've also got some of these guys set up to not use skills. So Yakarl is not going to use his A3 on the boss. Gnut is not going to use his A2 on the boss. And Queen is not going to use her A2 on the boss, which means that if it goes into either Queen or Gnut, we are either getting more damage via Blessed Bash, or we're getting another ally attack via Queenly Command. Now, the reason that Queen of Hearts is so incredible for this boss is her A1, which attacks all enemies and places a big version of drop defense for 2 turns, and then fills the turn meter of all allies by 5%. Since she's not going to use anything other than her A1 this entire time, and, you know, the ally attack includes her A1, we're always going to have everybody under drop defense, and we're always going to be getting turn meter fill. She's running at plus 300 speed. You can see here, 319 speed on the Queen of Hearts. Now, it is very important. We've got 370 speed here on Podreg, 285 speed here on the other Podreg, 262 speed on the Gnut, and 240 speed on the Yakarl. As you can see, this is a very nice and fast team. But anyways, we've got 3 ally attacks, which means all those chances to reduce active skills. We've got Gnut, who's, you know, his big active skill is the Blessed Bash. He's got the turn meter control. And we've got Yakarl carrying our decreased speed, and the Axe of All Winter also is a double hit with a chance to place freeze. So decreased speed, I'm finding, is super important for this boss. I can't clear it without a decreased speed, so we got to use Yakarl. I was thinking about using Cryoden or something, but not consistent enough without the decreased speed there. This is a consistent farm. It's not a 100% clear, but it is a consistent farm. I'm going to go ahead and show you what exactly this team does. So Podreg is set up only to use his A1. Both Podregs are set up only to use their A1s on the waves. They both open with their ally attacks and then go directly into their turn meter fill. As you can see, we've got so much turn meter fill on this squad. Queen of Hearts is also equipped with War Master, which is super helpful for getting us through the waves as well. If I had to put another mastery on Gnut, I'd probably go with Whirlwind of Death, because Whirlwind of Death will increase his speed every time he kills an enemy. So he's going to go even faster, which means more turn meter control on the boss, more Blessed Bashes, all of that good stuff. His A1 doesn't actually hit that hard, but it is a very high utility skill, which is why we want a lot of accuracy on him. Again, stick around till the end of the video if you want to see his stats. He would ideally be really good in a Merciless set. So 4-piece Merciless will have a chance to reduce skill cooldown whenever he deals damage. Now, he's going to be dealing damage on every hit of his skill, which means, you know, you've got that what, 30-45% chance, whatever it is on the Merciless, to reduce the cooldown of that Blessed Bash on the boss, which is really, really nice. Unfortunately, my Merciless gear is not good enough to get him with the stats that I currently have him in, so that's not really an option. But as you can see here, we're not really having any trouble with the waves. Not Cryoden, Yakarl there is keeping them nice and frozen so that, you know, we can make it through, get to the boss, and get the Savage gear that we need. Now, I will say I have been slacking my Fire Knight farming because I haven't been able to farm stage 10, and my account is very much at the spot where I need to farm hard 10 dungeons. But now I can, because of the guy Gnut, the man, the myth, the legend himself. It is awesome. All right, and then Yakarl taking out the waves there with a nice Glaciate. All right, now we look into the ally attacks. Here we go. Triple hit from Gnut, double hit from Cryoden, single hits from everybody else on the team. There's the Queenly Command. The increased attack doesn't really help us here. Yakarl hit harder, but he's not our main damage dealer here. He's our main damage dealer for the waves, but once we're at the boss, that job really falls to Gnut. And there we go. All those nice, consistent freezes. My goodness, Gnut just throwing it down there. There's the decreased speed. I love that Yakarl's decreased speed skill also has a freeze on it, so it's really good for Fire Knight as well. And we're already back to the ally attack because of the Podregs. Like, more ally attack means more turn meter control from I keep calling him Cryoden, Yakarl and Gnut, which means that the Fire Knight should never take a turn at this point. There is a little bit of RNG, you know, with the Podreg cooldown reductions, but I mean, it becomes significantly more consistent when there are two of them, which is why I highly recommend, you know, running 2 Podregs with Queen of Hearts, because she's got that free drop defense, right? Other ally attackers you could use, Lady Mikage is really good for Fire Knight. Podreg's really good. Queen of Hearts, obviously. A lot of Thero might work. I don't know. Let me know what kind of ally attackers you need or you use in Fire Knight. I personally have found that since I don't have Mikage, the double Podreg with Queen really works well. So if you have that combo, obviously if you just have one Podreg, use the one Podreg, you know. And look, here's another ally attack, right? Which, you know, gives us a shot at reducing cooldowns. That's great. We've got a turn meter fill. The turn meter fill also allows us to get back to the ally attacks faster. Got that Blessed Bash, and we are hitting cap with a drop defense down, which is really nice. We've also got the War Master, which is super important as well. As you can see, we're having no trouble turn meter controlling the boss or anything. We go ahead and we boost again, which means Podreg's next turn should be, I think it should be an ally attack, which will be really nice. We gotta, the only thing with this squad is that, you know, Gnut's Blessed Bash is on a 4-turn cooldown, which is a bit slow, but that's okay because it is such a powerful move. You could also do something with Kymar, where you go ahead, you fire off the Blessed Bash, and then you reset. And this is why I think Giant Slayer might be really nice, because he fires so many of the A1s, right? He fires so many of those A1s. There we go. Not a problem at all. Mr. Gnut coming in with it. All right, so what else did I do? Well, today I finished Phantom Shogun. So here's the squad. We've got Podreg, Mithrala, Gnut, Ninja, and Thor. Thor is going to be our enfeeble tank here. We've got Podreg opening up with the Inspiring Rhythm so that we can outspeed the boss. We've got Mithrala opening with the Hex and then going to place the shield. The reason I have her placing the shield second is because when the boss kills Thor, it also deals damage to the rest of the team. It's pretty devastating damage, so the shield and the strengthen prevent that from happening, so Thor can stay alive and everybody can do the damage that they need to. Here we go. Yes, I did just clear Shogun 25. It's actually a pretty fast farm. Literally right before this video, I was working on this team and got it to work. So I was pretty hyped about that. We've got Thor there. We've got Gnut. Now, Gnut is bad affinity here, so he will weak hit sometimes. But, you know, I think it's all right, considering that even the weak hit version of that skill hits so incredibly hard. Sometimes the boss dies of the poisons from Mithrala, which is kind of hilarious, but, you know, it kind of is what it is. It doesn't matter how the boss dies as long as the boss dies. Gnut, again, bringing that decrease attack, which is going to be really, really nice here, and really nice once I get it fully booked out as well. There we go. We've got that enfeeble. We're back to the cleanse, right? We've got 2 cleanses on this team so that we can keep Ninja and Gnut from going under the enfeeble and drop defense, which is super important. There we got another Blessed Bash, another Hail Burn from Ninja. There is the Hex with the defensive buffs. And really what we're trying to do is keep the boss's attention focused on Thor so that Gnut and Ninja can kill the boss with the max HP damage. Now, it really won't work with anyone other than Thor because Thor has the highest crit damage on my account. Gnut has the second highest crit damage, except maybe Kaldor on my account. So here we go, Ninja and then Gnut coming in. Thor, of course, being our enfeeble tank. But guys, I've cleared 2 dungeons since pulling Gnut. He is awesome. He is absolutely awesome. And now I think we gotta see his stats. So we've got Gnut over here and kind of walk you through what sets I put him in and all that kind of stuff. Again, couldn't afford to do the Merciless gear, but his base stats without any area bonuses or anything, he's coming with 3.3k defense, which is kind of low. Like that a little bit higher, to be honest, but we're mostly focused on getting the damage from his enemy max HP skill, not necessarily from his A1 and A2, although the A2 is really nice for those Fire Knight waves. His speed is 242 speed. I think that's also a little bit slow, but, he's a damage dealer. This is relatively fast for damage dealers on my account. He might be like the third fastest damage dealer I have. The first being the Cat, of course, who's running about 270, and then there's Calamitous as well. He's crit capped, 202% crit rate, and then 301% crit damage. I was hitting cap just fine with like drop defense and stuff, and weaken with like 270 crit damage, so I think that should be fine. And then of course he's got a good chunk of accuracy, 406 accuracy for our Gnut here. Nice, good build. I think this is a very good build. About the only thing that could be better is if he was in 4-piece Merciless, so when I can afford that, I will. Right now I've got him in a speed set, give him that 12% extra speed. The perception set, 5% extra speed, and the 40 accuracy, and then 2 off pieces. So these are really nice gloves. They've got crit rate, and they are crit damage with crit damage ascension. And this is a also very nice shield that triple rolled crit damage as well as 1 into speed. So that's very nice as well. We already went over the relic Molten Death Bell. I think you could also go like Gilded Dragonstone. You may be able to go Irethi Coronet. The reason I didn't go with Irethi Coronet though is because you're not really going to increase the damage on the Blessed Bash, past the cap. You could go Irethi Coronet for Chimera if you do Chimera, and we will be taking him into Chimera tomorrow, but depends on where you're using him. I think Molten Death Bell is the best for Fire Knight. Irethi Coronet might be the best everywhere else. It just depends on how you're going to use him. But, there are 2 options. You can even swap the relics if you'd like to. For an Ascension, if I had a blessing on him, you saw how he failed to kill the spider just barely. That happens a fair bit. I'd go with Soul Reap just so that we can, Soul Reap bosses and not have to worry about them remaining on 1 HP when Gnut Blessed bashes them. I think that's probably the best thing to do. I already went over what masteries I would take, even though he doesn't, I don't think he needs them. He's performing just fine without them, right? Maybe Sniper if you don't plan on booking the A2. But there you go. That's my Gnut build. We've got crit damage with crit damage ascension on the amulet as well. I went defense on the banner and defense on the ring since I already had enough accuracy there. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know how you build your Gnut in the comments below. I've been Felris, sailing the seas of Raid Shadow Legends, and I will see you in another video.